Bledsoe was arrested.
Patrick Montgomery was in court.
Jonathan Manapa will stay in federal custody.
No, I don't take responsibility at all.
Hey everyone, welcome to the show. 25-year-old South Carolina resident Benjamin Robinson. He traveled to D.C. with his father, Linwood Sr. He also traveled with his brother, Linwood Jr., and Linwood Jr.'s wife, Brittany. On January 6th, they cross the West Lawn. They admit to seeing other members of the mob fighting with police. By that time, there was smoke, there was pepper spray all in the air. The police were ordering everyone to leave. They were doing this over the loudspeaker so everyone could hear. But rather than leaving, they illegally entered the Capitol shortly after the initial breach. First, they entered through the parliamentarian door, but Robinson saw officers headed their direction, so he waved for his family to turn around. So they all exited the building, and then they walked around to try to find another entrance. A short time later, they entered through the Senate wing doors, and they made their way to the Capitol crypt. Robinson and his family were seen on video at the front of the police line when this crowd surged forward, and they all physically forced their way past officers and further into the building. They headed to the second floor of the building. They entered the office suite of Nancy Pelosi, and then after exiting Pelosi's office, the family found a mob gathering outside of the House chamber. There was one entrance, and everybody was there trying to push past the police. Well, after realizing this wasn't a viable entrance, the family walked down a hallway. They were looking for another way in. That's when they encountered a Capitol employee. So they were seen on surveillance video. They briefly spoke with this person, and then they doubled back, and then they started waving for the mob to follow them. Evidently, they had discovered the speaker's lobby, and there was another set of doors there. It was another entry point to the House chamber. So the crowd quickly became very agitated. They followed them over to that area. They started getting really rowdy. They were screaming and cursing. There were 3 officers guarding the doors. I know you guys have probably seen the video of this. They were chanting, "Break it down." And then Brittany and Benjamin started yelling out. They started yelling they're leaving because they spotted the lawmakers through the glass on the doors, and they were exiting the House chamber, and they were headed out another exit. That's when all hell broke loose. The mob started shattering the glass on the doors, and as you all know, Ashley Babbitt attempted to climb through, and that's when she was shot and killed. And as she was climbing through the door, by the way, Robinson was seen on video kicking a set of doors to her left. So the family finally left the building after that shooting. And following the Capitol attack, Robinson posted a photo online. It was of the Capitol dome, and he captioned it, quote, "They heard today." He later fabricated stories about that day. He wrote that he, quote, "watched a girl get shot for standing at the door wanting to speak to the Senates." The Senates, like the internets. And she wasn't just standing there. We all know what happened, okay? If she was just standing there, she wouldn't have been shot. Robinson also tried to make himself out to be some sort of tough guy. He told his Facebook contacts that the police, quote, "pointed the gun in my face. I looked down the barrel, and then I rolled out of the window, and he shot." They're all action heroes. So Robinson was arrested on May 19th of 2021, and he was charged with entering a restricted building or grounds, 2 counts of disorderly conduct, and parading or demonstrating in a Capitol. And this guy has some imagination, as you've heard already, but there's more. After his arrest, Robinson was interviewed by a news outlet, and he said that the FBI banged loudly on his door at 5 a.m., and they told him not to move or he would be shot. Then Robinson claimed that they dragged him off of his porch and that they pulled his wife out of the house at gunpoint. The FBI, however, tells a little different story. They say that he was arrested shortly after 6 a.m., and that they informed his wife, "You're free to leave. You can stay, we can interview you, or you could decline to be interviewed if you wish. The sentencing report states, quote, after a brief discussion, she told the agent she preferred to leave. They assisted in loading her car with items she asked for from the home, and she left at around 6:51 a.m. Anyway, in April of 2023, Robinson pleaded guilty to the parading charge, so he was facing up to 6 months in prison, 3 years of probation, and $5,000 in fines. In this case, the prosecutor requested a sentence of 120 days in prison, 3 years of probation, 60 hours of community service, and $500 in restitution. As with his other family members, Benjamin told some tall tales in his post-plea interview. He claimed that he saw someone with FBI printed on the front and back of his jacket, and that this person was directing people into the Capitol. Then Robinson said that he saw 2 SWAT officers to his right when they entered, and they were directing people down the hall. The video evidence is completely at odds with this version of events. And Robinson went on to say that he didn't remember waving for the mob to join them in the speaker's lobby, and he didn't pound on the door, even though he admitted that he kicked the door and he used his body to pound on the door in his plea agreement. And Robinson also says that he no longer has the phone that he used on January 6th because he said it was destroyed in a work accident. Surprisingly, he has only been arrested once. It was back in 2016 for malicious injury to personal property, also contributing to the delinquency of a minor. Apparently, they vandalized something on somebody's lawn, but it doesn't appear that it ended in a conviction. And then there were more recent allegations made, but not convictions or arrests. And this was against Robinson and his brother. Apparently, they were accused of threatening a man. The man had damaged his brother's car. So that's what the man says. They threatened to kill him. And then there was a 2019 incident that also involved his brother and some sort of intimidation. U.S. District Judge Amy Berman Jackson presided over Robinson's case, and I couldn't locate any details about what was said at the sentencing hearing, but Judge Berman Jackson sentenced Robinson to 4 months in prison and $500 in restitution. So that's more like it. You know, at least she went with their recommendation. I wish the prosecutor, though, had requested the full 6 months, especially for the false statements and the lack of remorse. But I'll take what I can get. If it was any other judge, he would have gotten probation only. So anyway, guys, I will let you know if I hear any more. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please donate if you possibly can. Links are below in the description box. Love you all. Take care, and I'll talk with you soon.